Alright then. What do you say we accuse the Mexican group about this? Blind justice. It was carefully planned murder. The Mexicans killed the Chileans and sank the trend of blind justice. The Mexicans' inhumanity toward the Chileans cost many lives. We must act quickly. Contact Lestrade and allow the police to reform that swift political game. A criminal organization such as this cannot be confronted directly. Excuse me. It requires a delicate approach. Give Mycroft the chance to resolve the conflict, even though it might be protracted and turned to his own advantage. You know what? This is an international incident. This has got nothing to do with Lestrade. Even though lives were lost, this is completely international, and he should let Mycroft deal with this. Let him play his little game. He'll thank us in his own way and just take it completely away from us. We'll give him all the evidence, say, here, it's this, he's smart enough to understand it, and can just play his little diabolical mind games. It's all yours, Mycroft. We've solved it. We've solved the mystery. Let's hand over to Intelligence Committee, shall we?
Then the case is solved, Holmes. What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have the local constabulary and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal.
Exactly.
Our other option is Brother Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble, but it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. But I think I'd prefer to give Mycroft a chance. We should overlook our personal differences on this occasion.
Let us go home, then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
No, I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well, all right. What did I miss?
Watson, we know that the Barcazas Company directors were drowned in the flooded quarry, along with the train and Robinson's prototype. But we still need to corner the guilty party.
But how do you intend to prove... Oh, no. Please don't tell me we have to dive into the lake.
Huh. You may rest assured that I have a far better idea.
Oh, good.
We have only to use our corrupt Doncaster station master as bait. He will unwittingly trap our Mexican friend.
Of course, you already had a plan. I shall follow you, Holmes.
Good. That's in on the trap as well.
The case is solved, and we shall be heading home. And may we have 2 tickets to London, please?
Right away. Wait a minute. You've solved the case?
In a manner of speaking. Can you believe that the rescue service miraculously saved one of the Chileans who were on board the train? The police have ordered his immediate escort to London on the next train.
He pulled through, then? He's alive?
Yes, by extreme good fortune. His condition is quite serious, and the method of transportation has its risk, but he will be held securely by the doctor and police officers. The gentleman carries some vital information on this case. I am sure of it.
Ah, really?
Your station will be famous, Mr. Duff. The journalists will be here before you know it. Goodbye, sir.
Ah, yes.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
That little trap.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
Yeah. The hell? How am I supposed to... But what? How am I supposed to bloody shoot with a damn thing? Oh, thank you. Right. There wasn't any cue for a button there. Had to mess around there.
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't want another life lost in this case, Holmes.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence.
Indeed.
By the way, Watson, would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
Fair deal. 23, drowned, yeah, political gain. It's carefully molecule breed played to advance. They used their own barge to keep the train on the rail on the run for a few seconds, and then sank into the flooded quarry of the railway. Tracks were removed to hide the crime. The criminal organizations such as this cannot. Yeah. Nope, I accept the decision. Yep, this is the right thing to do. But I finished the case, yep, no, we're ready to do this. Continue. Commiserative. Fair enough. Bloodbath.
Holmes, what happened?
I feel deathly.
And you look it. Let me examine you. Please don't tell me that you've returned to your old habits.
And you'd be that surprised, would you?
The pupil is dilated. The temperature appears to be normal. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats. I need to concentrate. A weak pulse, around 50 beats per minute. But you're dying, Holmes. Your pulse rate is dropping. We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
The antidote. Give it to me.
The antidote? You mean that you're poisoned?
Now. Please.
Here, drink it all. Don't tell me that you did this to yourself.
Oh, you know it.
Hemlock and Datura. I was compelled to.
Holmes, imagine if I'd not returned home when I did. What might have happened?
I knew that you would.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
Mr. Holmes is unable to see anyone at the moment. He is unwell.
A good day, Inspector.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to find you here. I need your help. This is a strange one. We have brought in 2 young bankers from the city, sons of lords, members of the chamber, and so on and so forth. They were found stranded in a rowing boat that was drifting on the Thames.
A romantic escapade with an unhappy ending, Lestrade.
What? Well, yes, they were both in the bath, but... what?
As I said,
And they were tied together.
you are lacking in imagination, Inspector.
Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, there was a banner flapping about in the boat with the RMS Oceanic printed on it and signed by the Merry Men.
The Oceanic. Isn't that the largest steamer ever built?
Yes. And these 2 young banker chaps are sons of the owners of the White Star Line.
Oh,
The company
really?
that built it. There are rumours of corruption.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not interested in politics, Lestrade.
I'll keep it then. Here's another one that's a bit more complex and maybe to your liking. It's a murder, but we're unable to find any weapon. We haven't touched anything. It's at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane.
A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman Baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
It's like, really? Oh boy. Let me do this, see if there's any letters. Oh, there is. Times. The power of the Empire is growing stronger day by day. As of yesterday, the Mexican consortium Carachal began serving the cause of the British Empire. This arrangement is undeniably profitable for London and England overall, and is a great achievement for our exceptional diplomatic and political community. In our news, a train has mysteriously disappeared en route to Evesham railway station. I think we could look a bit, I think it might change our attire. I think I might go with the grey suit this time. Yeah, change it up a little. Strand Lane Baths.
Beautiful place.
With
It is,
a
actually.
dreadful murder. The body of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe is still in the steam room. It has not been touched, per your usual instructions, Mr. Holmes. I shall be waiting for you here, but please hurry.
Are you able to identify the men who were with the victim in the steam room?
Yes. The manager of the bath, Sir Gregory Pitkin, a lad from the City Council, Garrow, and an archaeologist by the name of Blinkhorn. I think the plump one, Garrow, did it. He doesn't seem right in the head.
Well, we shall see. Was there anyone else here, apart from those gentlemen in the steam room?
Yes, a Mr. Phillips. He was the one who called the police. He'll be able to give you more details.
Okay, cool.
You found no murder weapon?
No, and that's why I called you. All three witnesses and the victim were locked in when the murder occurred, and they remained so until we got here. We even had to pick the lock to enter.
I see.
Intriguing. First things first. So Mr. Phillips then.
Good day to you, Mr. Phillips. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my colleague, Dr. Watson. Would you be so kind as to answer our questions?
Certainly, sir.
Twinkles. Oh. Okay. Okay. So many buttons. City. Okay. Telegram. Cool.
Please tell us the chain of events from the start of your day. Everything that you can remember. The slightest detail may be of importance.
Very well, sir. I came in at 6:30 this morning, and I opened the baths. I made sure that the room was clean, and I prepared the towels. The brazier was still burning.
There was a fire burning all night.
Yes, Sir Gregory ordered me to light the brazier yesterday. It takes some time until the room is fully heated.
Okay.
The gentleman had a meeting at 9 o'clock this morning. I wanted everything to be perfect. They'd been in the steam room for 20 minutes when I suddenly heard shouting. I ran to the door, but it was closed. I couldn't open it. So I ran out to the street to call for the police. One constable came up, and then there were others, and they picked the lock. Then Inspector Lestrade came along, and he told us that nothing should be touched.
Okay.
Did you receive any other visitors this morning?
No one. Until these gentlemen arrived. Sir Gregory was the first.
Okay.
And then, while we were discussing work details, Sir Rodney and Mr. Blinkhorn arrived, and Mr. Garrow followed.
What happened after that?
I waited until they'd all entered the steam room, then I returned to the hall. The changing room door was open, so I should hear if they needed anything.
You would have heard if someone had entered or left the steam room.
Certainly, sir. These doors make a lot of noise.
Alright. Good to know.
The steam room's on the other side, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, thank you. Huh. Pretty cool architecture, if you think of it. Okay, let's have a look at all this.
Expensive clothes, belonging to one of the men from the steam room.
Okay.
An ice bucket to keep the champagne chilled. Champagne for a special occasion.
Guess we'll find out.
Unopened. It was intended to be enjoyed after the steam session.
Okay.
These clothes belong to one of the suspects from the steam room. Clothes belonging to one of the suspects.
Alright. Well, that's a hell of a way to go.
Lord Holmes.
Ah, death with a peculiarly Roman piquancy.
Yeah, agreed.
Like the one you almost had an hour ago.
Let us forget about that.
A very Romanly death. In the baths. Oh, God. Anyone knows the history, they'll know what I'm talking about there. Not the eye and the stabbed in the eye, but I mean where he's being killed. I mean that's. Oh dear. All right.
There was only one hit from the weapon. It pierced the right eye straight through to the brain. Death would have been instantaneous.
Okay.
Some dirt or earth. I'll take a sample. Look, Watson. He was wearing a ring. He very likely removed it before the steam session.
Okay.
Death is very recent, between 30 minutes to 1 hour ago.
Right.
The wound should not have bled so profusely. This pool is rather large. I think we have found all that we can here, taking into consideration the abysmal lighting. Constable, we have finished with the body.
We don't have many leads here.
What concerns me is that we still have to find the murder weapon.
Mr. Holmes?
Please have the body removed without disturbing anything else in the room.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
I was wondering, Holmes, it's fairly reckless to carry out a murder inside a closed chamber. Why do you suppose they did it?
There are a great many possibilities. The murderer was in a hurry, or he is an artist, or a ghost, or he wanted to ensure that I'd be brought in on the case.
Probably the latter. You are ridiculous. Do you know that?
Yeah, it's more of an art form, so not totally ridiculous. Oh!
I should check this blood sample at Baker Street.
And a key.
This key was covered in blood. I should ask Phillips about it. The brazier is still burning. The heat here is extreme. I will need something to pick up this melted metal.
Alright.
It is too hot. I cannot reach into it.
Okay. Let me go and ask Mr. Phillips about this. At this key.
There is a bottle of champagne on ice in the changing room. Do you have any idea who left it there?
There is? Are you quite certain? I didn't pay any attention. Do you believe that it's important?
How many people have keys to the steam room?
We have just the one key for now, which Sir Gregory gave to me.
Okay.
So, this morning you opened the steam room, and then?
I put the key inside my desk, but when they called, I couldn't find it. It had disappeared. I don't know where it is.
Did you leave the baths at any time, or receive any visitors?
No, sir. I did not.
So, how do you explain that, I think, is that I don't know, a telegram, maybe? From this morning?
You are not telling the truth, Mr. Phillips. You left your work this morning, and you went to the post office, where you dispatched a telegram at around 7:30.
But how could you... No,
The telegram was for someone in Manchester.
Mr. Holmes, it's I'll tell you everything. I left the baths at 7:20. My sister wrote to me yesterday, and she needed a reply, or our mother is unwell. I was away for 20 minutes, and I closed the baths on my way out.
Did you receive a reply from your sister?
No, she wasn't meant to. I just told her to pawn my old school uniform so that she could pay for the medication.
Did you check to see if the key was still in your desk when you returned?
No, I didn't. Please, Mr. Holmes, don't tell the police about this. Sir Gregory would give me the sack. I need this job.
I see.
So, an innocent mistake, then, possibly. Right. Well, I guess we should cut out the initial interview then, shall we?
It's horrible. I can't talk at the moment.
Fair enough. Mr. Pitkin.
I'm in shock. I don't want to talk.
Mr. Garrow, then.
It's horrible. Sir Rodney, he's dead. Can't we speak about it somewhere else?
Oh. Glasses.
One lens is cracked, probably due to the temperature of the brazier. These lenses are for myopia. The wearer is short-sighted.
Okay. Oh, steam switch.
With the steam on, I'm unable to see even a few feet away.
So what's to be achieved from this, eh? Oh, blood on the oh!
Blood traces wiped on the towel.
You care to talk now, Mr. Garrow?
I found him. I touched his shoulder, thinking that he was just asleep.
Okay.
Mr. Holmes, I should like to take the suspects to the yard. You can interrogate them there. Any objections?
Well, I see no other reason yet. No objections, so go for it.
None, Lestrade.
Right. Sample, okay. I think it would be a good idea to try and do those excuse me, those chemical get the chemical traces dealt with. We have something to go on.
On the sofa for the third time today. Well, don't be surprised if Watson sits on you again. Pyrite, otherwise known as fool's gold.
Okay.
Selenite.
Oh, what was that?
White
Oh.
clay particles. Interesting. According to the color and its composition, I deduce that this sample is white clay. Now, I need to find which area near London this sample belongs to. The sample of dirt belongs to the White London clay region, located near the city of St. Albans.
Okay.
Let us analyze this blood sample. This blood has not coagulated well. It seems very liquid. That is strange. Let us see what is inside it. Hydrogen peroxide will bring any foreign matter to the surface.
I know water can I know that water can for lack of a better word, dilute blood, like thin it out a bit, to some extent anyway.
I must take a pipette and place several drops of hydrogen peroxide. Water. This blood is heavily diluted with water.
Cool. Well, guess that part. Interesting. I reckon we'll go through the suspects. No, better yet, we'll go through the belongings. We'll go through it one at a time. Belongings, then the suspect.
An ordinary pencil.
Gregory Pitkin, to Mr. Blinkhorn. Dear sir, the interests that I represent require the situation at the bars to be changed for the better. At present time, the Frigidarium excavations remain under your direction, and yet the works have not progressed. You have failed to find anything of value, and we are unable to make the Frigidarium accessible to the public. And Frigidarium is a valuable asset in the recreation of the Roman baths experience. I urge you to complete your work within the next 2 months. You have this remaining time to conclude your archaeological research and to find yourself another workplace. Okay.
A hand-drawn map.
Huh.
An old and rather dirty coin.
Alright.
This ring was most likely the one that Sir Rodney wore. He removed it before entering the steam room. An Egyptian symbol. It is a very old jewel.
Okay.
I see the join. This ring was repaired, and quite badly too, with silver.
Oh.
Why on earth would they wear such a ring?
A very pertinent question.
Very much so.
Rodney Bentcliffe's notebook. It may contain something of interest. The last pages were torn out. We must find a way of retrieving Sir Rodney's last lines. Watson, please prevent anyone from entering the room. But first, fetch me a pencil.
Okay.
To begin with, a few strokes of the pencil will be enough. I don't want to damage the traces.
Okay.
And then to gently smudge the leftover pencil marks with a handkerchief. I'm sure that Watson won't mind if I use his.
Okay, make speed this person just a tad. Today I almost found it. This day will go down in history. What? But I've uncovered this stupid thing. I can read it, what the hell? I can read what is going on, game? Come on, I can read it. What the hell? Oh, right. I know I had to do the right-hand corner.
Mr. Holmes, the coroner... But what are you doing? Tampering with the evidence?
I prefer to make them talk. Today, I almost found it. This date will go down in history. Sir Rodney was about to make an outstanding discovery.
Wonderful.
I could retrieve only the final words. The rest of it is lost. Perhaps the autopsy will assist us in that matter.
I'm not sure that I can allow you to inspect the body now.
I am sure that you must, Constable.
Well...
The right eyeball has been burst. 63. Pierced to the hill by a curved blade knife. The blade has been cut through the orbit of the frontal bone, ripping parts of the frontal lobe and the corpus callosum, after which, completing its trajectory into the cerebellum, caused hemorrhagic lesions. Okay. All these injuries led directly to the death of the individual. At the upper lobe of the right lung, there is an old injury filled with an amount of mucus and ciliate debris that may correspond to a chronic infection by elements likely inhaled in the burial chamber. A decaying mummy, for example, or a dried and decomposing food product intended to accompany the deceased in their grave. The remainder of the body does not appear to have been damaged. Okay, good. Right, let's go and inspect the body, shall we?
An unusual wound, inflicted by a curved knife, which resulted in instant death, as the coroner's report says. According to the coroner, there were no cardiac problems nor lung congestion, but there were traces of fungus, possibly contracted from the Egyptian tombs.
Okay.
The coroner observed no stomach nor liver disease, if we're to accept that Sir Rodney was an occasional drinker and 63 years of age.
Alright. Oh wow, okay.
Some light bruising, caused by a rope. The bruising is in lines. They were caused by a rope around the waist. Sir Rodney was descending somewhere.
Okay. Dude, strange one. Okay. Steam moisture. Unexplained clue. The presence of the water in the blood is an unexplained clue. Must somehow be linked to the murder process. Yeah, I don't think that's steam moisture somehow. I don't know. That's just me, but I highly doubt that's steam moisture, personally. Okay, well. And on that note, we'll actually end it here. And yeah, I'll see you next time. We're actually going to question and interrogate Blinkhorn, because we went through his belongings first. I'm going to do belongings, then individual, not just do it through all of them. So yeah, doing that order. So yeah, see you next time.